Hello students of class 5. So in my previous lecture I have discussed about multiplication. So I have discussed some questions from the first exercise, that is exercise 3.1. So today I am going to start the new topic, that is our next topic is division. So what do you mean by division? When we use division, see, for example, if whenever we are given many numbers, that means, for example, if we have given that cost of 10 chocolates is equal to rupees 100, then suppose you have to find the cost of one chocolate, so then we can use the division method. So if cost of many or production of many items that are given and you have to find for one, then we can use division. For example, in multiplication, when for one is given, you have to find for many, then we use multiplication. Like that, division is the opposite of what? Multiplication. So in multiplication we got the answer bigger than the numbers, or we can say the factors. Already I told you in my last lecture that when we multiply the two numbers are called factors and the answer is called as product. Okay, so here in division is the reverse of, okay, we can say opposite of multiplication. So in division we find many terms, and the terms are marked as dividend, divisor. Okay, dividend and divisor is already given in the question. Next, then we have to simplify. So after simplifying, we got quotient first, and after that we got what? Remainder. Remainder is the remaining answer you will get after subtraction process. Okay, after subtraction we got what? Remainder. Okay, so in division we find for only 1. Okay, always we find for 1. So next, how to check if we do the division process. Suppose we have done the division. After that, if we want to check the answer is correct or not, then we can check it by a process, and the process is what? You have already studied it. You have studied it from class, I think you got in class 3. From class 3 only you know this method. And what is the checking method? You have to do what? You have to multiply the quotient and divisor. Then after multiplication you will get the answer, and that answer you have to add it into the remainder. So when we add it into the remainder, you will get the dividend. If you got the dividend, then your division process is correct. If you don't get the dividend, then your division process is not correct. Okay, so like that you can check the answer by this method. Okay, so here I am going to do the question from exercise 3.2. so question number 1. So here you have to divide and you have to check your answer by this method. Okay, so let us do it. So see, I have to divide a 5-digit number with a 5-digit number by 51. So here first of all we will write what is dividend. The dividend is a 5-digit number, 12,686, and divisor, our divisor is 51. So here is the division process. See, so see, 51 is a very big number. Okay, as a divisor it is a very big number. So how to do it? See, in your copy you can do one thing. You can make a margin to the right of your page. Okay, your page, suppose this is your page, you can make a margin like this. You make a margin, and in this free space you can do rough by writing rough work. Okay, but now you are at home, so you can do the rough work at your rough copy or your extra copy also. Okay, so here you can do what? You can do rough work. So how to do? See, as you can see, 51 is a very large number. So how we can divide by this number? So what you have to do? You have to see what is the first two numbers. Here the first two number is 12. Okay. First of all, you have to check for 1. See, 1 will not come in the table of 51, as you all know. So we have to check 2-digit number, that is 12. 12 is also not come in the table of 51, as 12 is a very less number, means it is very less than what, 51. Okay, so we will go to the next digit. So next digit is 6. So the 3-digit number, we can say this 3-digit number is what, 126. So we have to see a number equal to 126 or less than 126, which comes in the table of 51. So what you have to do? You have to multiply 51. You have to check in the rough. You have to multiply 51 into 2. Okay, because 51 ones are is 51. This is a 2-digit number. So you have to start with 2. So 51 twos are, we will got what? 102. So 51 twos are 102. So see, 102 is a number which is less than 126. If you go to 3, means 51 threes are, then you will get a number which is more than 126. Okay. So we will go to what? We will go to 2. So 51 twos are 102. So below 126 you have to write 102, then you have to subtract. So one by one we will subtract from starting from 1's place. Okay, 6 minus 2, 4, 2 minus 0 is 2. So 8, you have to take 8 below. Okay, so the number, again the 3-digit number which is formed newly is 248. So now you have to check in the table of 51 which number is equal to 248 or less than 248. You have to check that. Okay. So in rough work you have to do, you have to multiply 51 with any number. Suppose if you multiply with 4 or 3, which number comes, you have to check. Okay. So 51, I got 51 fours are. Okay, 51 fours are is 204. Because if we will do 51 fives are, what will happen? See, 51 fives are, see, you can check like that also. 5 fives are, 5 is in tens place. Okay, and so 5 fives are is what? 25. So 25, see, here it is what? 24. So 25 is bigger than what? 24. Like that also you can check. Okay, so here see, 5 fives are 25 and 5 ones are is 5. So all total we will get what? We will get a 3-digit number that is equal to 255, which is more than 248. Okay, so we cannot take 5, we have to take 4. So 51 fours are is what? 204. So you have to write it below 248. Again you have to subtract. So after subtraction I got 44. Then next you have to take 6 from the next digit. Okay, next digit is 6. You have to take 6. So 446 is the newly formed number. Okay, this is again a 3-digit number. Okay, so next we have to check which number is equal to 446 or less than 446, which comes in the table of 51. So again see, here I have taken 8. So you can check like that. See, 8 and you have to multiply the tens place of this number, that is 5. So 8 fives are, we got 40. Okay, as you see, the ones place, in ones place we have 1. So if we multiply 1 with any, means with any 1-digit number, the number will be again a 1-digit number. Already you know, if we multiply any 1-digit number with 1, you will get again a 1-digit number. So no need to carry over. Okay, suppose in place of 1, if it will be 5 or 4, okay, then we may get a 2-digit number also. Suppose if we have 54, suppose. So if we multiply 54 with 5, 5 fours will be what? 20. So we can get a 2-digit number also. We will get a 2-digit number also. But here as you see, in ones place it is 1. So if we multiply with any 1-digit number, again we will get a 1-digit number only. Okay. So here see, 8, if you multiply with tens place, you will get 8 fives are what? 40. So here see, this is what? 44. So 40 is less than 44. So you can take this number. Again, if you take 9, okay, in place of 8, if you take 9, so what happens? See, 9 5s are what? 45. So 45 is 45 number is bigger than 44, so we cannot take it. Okay, we cannot be able to take it, so we will take what? 8. So 51 8s are will be what? 408. Again, using subtraction, I got what? 38. So see, 38 is what? 38 is less than our divisor. So here you have to stop because there are no more digit next to 6. Okay. Behind 6 there is no number. So we cannot take any number here. And as you can see, this number after subtraction we got the remaining number is 38, which is less than what? 51. So at this position, when you see that this number is less than 51 and there are no digits remaining in the dividend, then you have to stop the division process. Okay, at this moment you have to stop. Then we will go to the next step, that is checking. So in checking, already we have what? Our dividend and divisor, and now we got what? We got quotient. This is our quotient and this is our remainder. So what was the first step? First step was you have to multiply. You have to multiply quotient with divisor. So see, here our quotient. So this is our quotient 248 and divisor is 51. So already you know, I have already discussed the multiplication process in my last lecture, so I will not repeat it. You can do it easily. Okay, you can multiply 248 with 51 so that you will get this number, that is 12,648. Okay, after that what you have to do? You have to do addition, adding with what? The remainder, and our remainder is what? 38. Okay, from this division process we got 38. So after adding, I got what? 12686. So let us go to the first step. What was our dividend? So see, our dividend was 12686. Similar we got in this. Okay, 12686. That is the dividend. So this is the way of doing. You have to write what is our dividend, what is our divisor, what is quotient, and what is remainder. Then after that you will do division. Okay, sorry. After that you have to do the checking process. Okay, and division process already you know these things, but you have to see. Okay, you have to see by checking, because as you can see the number in the divisor is very big. So you have to check. You have to multiply with so many numbers to get the nearest number. Okay, so this is division process. Our next topic is average, so we will go to that. Okay, so the next topic is average. So what is the formula for average? See, the sum of quantities divided by number of quantities. That means if there are 3 quantities that are given, what you have to do? You have to add the 3 quantities. Then after addition you will get one number, and that number you have to divide by the number of quantities. So our number of quantity was 3. So that sum you have to what? Sum divided by 3. That means the number you will get in sum, you have to take the number, and that number you have to divide it by 3. Okay, so by that way you will find the average. So what do you mean by average? Let us do it with an example. So one example is given in your book. You can see in page number 47, number B. This is the what is given in the question. C. This is hours of study in each day. Okay, so in Monday, if for example, if Monday you study 2 hours, you study for 2 hours. In Tuesday similarly you study for 4 hours. In Wednesday you study 3 hours. In Thursday you study 0 hours. Friday 0 hours. Saturday 3 hours. Sunday 2 hours. So this is what? This is a weekly survey. That means in 1 week you study like this in each day. Okay, this much time you devote in study, for example. Okay, so total how many days are there in a week? We have 7 days. So what you have to do? See, for finding the average number of hours you study daily, okay, daily. For finding the average number of hours you study daily, what you have to do? You have to add all the hours. That means you have to add 2 hours plus 4 hours plus 3 hours, like that. You have to add all the hours, you will get 14 hours. Then what we have done? We have done addition in this. So addition, that means sum of quantities we are doing. So by doing sum, we are getting 14 hours, and divided by how many quantities you have added up? 7 quantities. So here you have to write the number of quantities, that means 7. So 14 divided by 7, you will get what? 2. Okay. So what is the total number of hours you study daily? What is the average number of hours you study daily? That will be what? 2 hours. Okay. That is not exact actually, but that is the overall, you can say. So average number of hours studied daily is equal to how much? It will be 2 hours. Okay. So this is the way of finding average. Similarly, you can see question number A of this one. There are 3 matches, match 1, match 2, match 3. So in 3 matches, they score 25 runs, 80 runs, 75 runs respectively. So what you have to do? You have to find the average runs scored by them daily. Okay. So what you have to do? You have to add all the runs, and then you have to divide it by 3, because there are only 3 numbers, 3 quantities are given. Okay. So like that you can find the number of runs, average number of runs scored by them daily. So this is the way, this is the formula for finding average. Okay. So let us do some question from exercise 3.3. So I am going to do question number 1C. Okay. So let us do it. So in question number C, length are given. Suppose there are 4 strips, okay. There are 4 strips of different length. So the length of first strip is suppose 124 centimeter. Second strip is this much, third strip is this, and fourth strip is this. So there are total 4 strips. So in number of quantities we have to write what? We have to write 4. Then first of all, as you know, in the formula for average you have to find the sum of quantities. So like that, first of all find the sum of quantities in answer. So sum of quantities, you have to add all the quantities. So I got 500 as sum of quantities. Next you have to write the number of quantities. After that write the formula, because here you have to find out the average. So here you have to first write the formula. Therefore average is equal to sum of quantities divided by number of quantities. 500 divided by 4, the answer is 125. So what we got? We got the average length of each strip, we can say average length. So we can say average length of each strip is equal to 125 centimeters. Okay. So next is question number 2. See, in question number 2, there are 3 aquariums which are given in your book. You can do it in book only. Okay. First question you have to do it in your classwork copy. So try to do it. Next is question number 2. You have to find the average number of fishes. So in first aquarium we have only 3 fish. Okay. See, we have only 3 fish. So that means number of fishes is 3. And what is the sum? Sum, it is written above the aquarium. As you can see, it is 27. Okay. So sum is given, that is 27, and number of fishes is 3. That means you have to divide 27 divided by 3 to find the average number of fishes. Okay. So you will get 9. So this will be this you have to do it in your book. You can do it in book like that. Similarly, in second aquarium you have to check how many number of fishes are there. You have to divide. Sum is already given. You have to divide the number of fishes. Okay. From sum you have to divide the number of fishes. So like that, in question number 3, see what is given. This table shows the number of newspaper collected by student of class 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to donate to the animal shelter over the month of December. Okay. So this number shows what? Number of newspaper collected by the student from class 1 to 5. So in first week, for class 1 students, see, for first week they are they are collecting how many newspaper? 38 newspaper. It's similarly in second week they are collecting 49. In third week they are collecting 75. In fourth week they are collecting 62. So what you have to do? You have to write the total collection. That means you have to add the number of newspaper in first week, second week, third week and fourth week. Okay, you have to add this the collection of the newspaper to get the total collection. Next, for finding the average collection, okay, for class 1, what you have to do? You have to divide the total collection by the number of weeks. So there are, you can see there are total 4 weeks, okay. So you have to divide the total collection for class 1 by 4, okay. So like that you have to do for class 2. First of all you have to add, okay. First you have to find the sum of quantities, okay, because that number you have to put in the formula. So next come to the questions. What question they are asking? See in number A below the table. Okay, one more question is question number 3. This is written as VB. What is the meaning of VB? See, VB means value based question. Okay, these are some important question and you can see where you can apply average. These are some application based question. See, we are learning, different subject we are learning, okay. Suppose EVS or you can say mathematics, you are learning day by day. But what are the application in daily life? In real life, there are many application of your subjects which you are reading, okay. So, these are some application based question. For example, average, where we can apply average. So in this question they are applying the formula for average, okay, they are applying the average. So question number A is find the total collection of each class, then find their average collection. So we can do it in the table only. Total collection you have to find from class 1 to class 5, then you have to find the average by dividing the total collection by 4. Number B is which class has the highest average. So how by dividing you can judge what is the highest average, okay. You can see the highest average having which class which has the highest average, you can easily see. And come to number C, which class has the lowest average. For this thing you have to first simplify, okay, first calculate the average, then you can easily know which one is the lowest average and which class has the highest average. Find the average of all the 5 classes, okay. Next question, you have to find the average for all the 5 classes. So this you have to do by the what you have to do, the total collection you will get in each. See here you will get the total collection, okay. What you have to do, you have to again add the total collection, means total collection by class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5 as a whole, means total collection of newspaper. You have to add the total collection, then you have to divide by how many number. You have to find the average for all 5 classes, that means you have to divide it by 5, okay. For 5 classes you have to find. So first of all add the total collection, okay, total collection, that column you will get now. You have to add all the numbers, then you have to divide it by 5. So next come to 4, 5, 6. So I am going to do question number 4. See here what is given. Suraj, Azim, Joe and Astha got an average of 95 points in a spelling competition. So there is a spelling competition and how many participants are there? See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 participants are there. Suraj, Azim, Joe, Astha. So 4 participants are there and average is given. See, 95. Average is given. So in this question we can say what is given? Average is given. Okay, this is given. This is given. Next, how many participants are there? 4 participants are there. That means number of quantity is what? 4. It is also given. What you have to find? What was their total score? Total score means what? Sum. Sum is not given. So you have to find the sum. So we don't have any formula for sum, but we have formula for average. So by using this formula only, we will find the sum of quantities. So how will we find? See, in lower classes, in like class 4 and class 3, you have already studied about the multiplication facts. So by using division facts, we can easily find the multiplication facts. So I am going to discuss this. So here you can see I have taken one example. 27 divided by 3 is equal to 9. So what is the multiplication fact of this? Multiplication fact. In multiplication fact you can write 3 multiplied by 9 equal to 27. That means what? Divisor into quotient, you will get the dividend. Okay. 3 into 9 equal to what? 27. Okay. Got it? So what we are doing here, see, we are finding average. I am writing as AV. Okay. Try to understand. I am writing as AV, average. Here is the sum. Okay. In place of 27 I am writing sum. Divide by number of quantities. So I am writing number. Okay. So what number you have to multiply? You have to multiply number into what? Number with what? Average. Number with average, when we multiply it, you will get the sum. Okay. So in this particular question, see, average is given and what is given? Number is given. That means you have to multiply average with number of quantities to get the sum of quantities. So what you have to do? You have to multiply 95 with 4. Okay, so try to do exercise 3.2 and 3.3, and if you have any doubt, please ask me.